Get ready. This is your first rule. This is the possession-possessor rule. Basically, you just finished in the workbook learning your pronouns and on the last video. And I told you that I was going to explain to you the possession-possessor rule on page 3. Now remember, in your workbook, if you have one of the older workbooks, it may be on another page. All you're looking at is lesson 1, after the pronouns, the possession-possessor rule. So I want you to understand that Haitian Creole has the old syntax of old European languages. When I say syntax, I mean sentence structure. So if a long time ago, instead of saying that is Jack's house, I might say this is the house of Jack, meaning this is the house belonging to Jack. So what am I saying there? I am putting the possession, house, before the person who possesses it, the possessor, Jack. This is the house of Jack. Okay? Modern English, we would never do that. People would think we're crazy, unless we're doing it in old literature or old fantasy novels, okay? We would say, this is Jack's house. Think about names even. Jackson. This was the old European way of saying, this is the son of a Jack Smith. So the possession, son, would come before the possessor, Jack Smith. We call him Jackson because he is Jack's son, but he used to be called the son of Jack. Kreyòl retains all of the rules of the old European sentence structures. We keep that form. That means in English, you might say, my baby. But in Kreyòl, baby's the possession in the sentence. My, the possessor, should come after. Baby belonging to me. Why am I not saying the word belonging? We don't have that word. So you omit it. Instead of saying baby belonging to me, you basically just say baby, my. Bébé, moi. Répétez, bébé, moi. You just said my baby. Baby belonging to me. Bébé, moi. If you say moi bébé, it means I baby. I baby. Moi bébé. Bébé belonging to moi. Another example would be my dog. Chien, moi. Répétez, chien, moi. That means my dog. Remember, I told you there are times where I don't want you to think at all about how to spell something because you will be learning the vocabulary later. Chien, dog, is coming up later. House is coming up later. Cat is coming up later. I don't want you to be concerned about it. I just want to practice these with you. Her house. House is a possession. It is owned by someone, so it comes first. It belongs to whom? Her. House belonging to her. Kai li. Répétez. Kai li. Very good. If I wanted to say Mary's cat, this is not a pronoun, but the cat is still possessed by someone, owned by someone, okay? Not possessed in a spiritual sense now. So if we want to say basically cat belonging to Mary, we're going to say chat Marie. Répétez, chat Marie. This lets us know immediately you're telling us this thing belongs to someone. Because if you say Marie chat, we will think you're saying Mary cat. If you were to say moi chien, we would be thinking you're saying I dog. Possession always comes first. Possession is something that is owned. I'm not talking about a verb. I'm not talking about an action. If I wanted to say I sit, I would still say I sit. Mwen chita. Répétez. Mwen chita. But if I wanted to say their chair, I would say possession, chair, belonging to possessor, them. Chaise, yo. Répétez. Chaise, yo. Excellent. Very good. I'm so glad. It's not that difficult for you to remember. You're basically reversing, making sure people know there is a possession, there is something owned by the possessor, owned by someone. And so instead of saying her cat, I'm going to say cat because it's belonging to her. I am going to reverse it. You know, one of the things that I find can make this easy for you is to look at it as the old European way of speaking. So I know you might watch these videos and go, oh my gosh, some of these videos are like 20 minutes long. I've been doing this for a long time. So has my daughter. I've seen all the errors a person can make. I have had people message me, go on the Learn Haitian Creole group and ask questions and say, I'm having a really hard time because I'm reversing the verbs, but then when I look at basically the answer key, I notice that they're not reversed. You're just looking at the old European way of speaking. You would never say, sit, Mary. You would say, Mary, sit. But the old way of speaking, we would have said, dog of Jack, Jack's dog. I am talking old, pre-Shakespeare way of speaking that we don't speak anymore. House of Jack. We don't say that. So in Creole, I want you to think in your mind, if someone is saying my dog, his house, their home, well, that's still a house, their car, you're going to reverse it. Okay? Basically, that's it. If you want to say, I want a car, you're not saying, that's my car. That's a possessor phrase. My car. Machine, moi. Répétez, machine, moi. But if what you want to say is, I want a car, you would just say, I want a car, because it's a verb phrase. I want. Moi vle. Répétez. Moi vle. I want. And then you would just say a car. I am talking about possession, possessors being when you are absolutely indicating his house, their shoe, my school, her nose. That's the exact phrasing that the possession and possessor are together, and that you're clearly indicating that. You know, something that I do want to remind you is go on the app Cram. If you're going, ooh, these are a lot of vocabulary words. C-R-A-M. Go on your phone, go on your laptop, download Cram, look up, Learn Haitian Creole with Gloria, and then look up Lesson 1 vocabulary and start doing those flashcard drills so that you can start learning the vocabulary. I mean, by the time you're done with Lesson 1, maybe you're ready for Lesson 2 vocabulary drills. I don't know. I know sometimes people just keep moving ahead in the book while maybe being behind on the vocabulary. That's okay, as long as you have the concept that I've taught. For example, we just did the possession-possessor rule. So when you're done going, okay, I get it. Every time I look at the workbook, I'm going to be able to remember what that means in Lesson 1. You can give this video a thumbs up. Thumbs up means I understand the concept. I may not memorize it. I'll keep coming back to my workbook and look at this on page 3. And I'm going to download this video to keep reminding myself of the possession, possessor rule. Cram is the same way. You may feel like I'm not going to memorize 30 vocabulary words in a week, but I learned the possession possessor phrase. I'm ready to move on in the workbook and in the next Vimeo video onto greetings. You can do that, absolutely. It doesn't mean you're behind on the lesson. It just means that you are taking your time with the vocabulary words. Cram will let you know when you know a vocabulary word. Why? It doesn't show up in the drill anymore, and so you can move on. Guys, the next video is on greeting. This is going to be one of the essential videos for you because the moment you get off that plane, you are going to hear Kreyòl. The moment you're in the airport, you're going to hear Haitian music and you're going to hear people speaking Kreyòl, people looking at you with the expressions I talked to you about. You're going to see your 80% rule. You're going to see people like me dancing to no music. You definitely want to gear up for the next video coming up on greetings. I'll see you there.